Hi friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if this is your first time here, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. Today we are going to hop into a book haul. I can't remember the last time that I've done one, but I have added 33 more books to my collection. Now I will say that these books were collected between the times of like April until now, and I also went to a book signing where I picked up a few books there. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop right into this thing and talk about the books that I have acquired. So the first stack we're going to go through are the books that I bought that I've already read and I just wanted to own physical copies of them. And we are starting off very strong with one of my favorite hockey series, and that is the Kings of Ice series by Candy Steiner. I absolutely love these books, and when Candy decided to release special trope editions of this series, I absolutely knew that I needed to own them. Okay, look how beautiful these are. I adore the color scheme. This is my favorite book in the series, book 3, Learn Your Lesson, Chef's Kiss. And then this is the only one that I have not read yet. This is Save Your Breath, and it came out this year. It follows a pop star and a hockey player, bad boy hockey player, and yeah, I need to get to this. I'm excited to get to this. This is a highly anticipated read for me, and yeah, so I love this series. This is a series I would highly recommend if you are wanting to get into the hockey romance of it all. And yeah, they're gorgeous. I'm glad I was able to get them. And she's also doing a special that if you bought these, then you get like first dibs on the final 2 books of the series so that you have a matching set, and I mean, how can you say no to that? The next book that I picked up is The Problem with Falling by Brittany Cherry. This is one that I picked up at Meet and Greet Cute, the book signing that I went to in June, and I absolutely adored this book. If you watched my mid-year check-in, you would have seen that this is one of the books that had a big impact on me, and I just really wanted to own it. I do plan to read the other 2 books in the series. This is book 3, so I want to go back and read book 1 and book 2, and if I enjoy both of those, then I will definitely be picking them up to add to the physical collection. And then the next 2 books that I picked up is Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. Now, I have read Fourth Wing, I have not read Iron Flame, and I have not read Onyx Storm, but when Barnes & Noble released the sprayed edge edition and of the paperback, I knew it was time to finally get them. I obviously have to wait for the paperback of Onyx Storm, but I feel confident that because it is the Barnes & Noble edition, I will get them, the series will match, and I will be happy. I'll just have to wait forever to get them, which is okay, but I'm actually getting very anxious about rereading this and then picking up Iron Flame, and I will probably, once I get back into this series, go ahead and read Onyx Storm on my Kindle and then just buy the physical copy once it comes out. Okay, the next stack we are going to go through are books that are like super high on my priority list to read. These are ones that either I went looking for them on Amazon to pick up because they drew an interest, or I knew that I was going to buy them at the signing that I went to, or it is a like next book in the series that I needed to get so that I could continue the series. So first up is The Wrong Game by Candy Steiner. It is a football romance, and I mean, it's Candy Steiner. If she writes it, I'm 9 times out of 10 going to read it. And when I met her at Meet and Greet Cute, at her table, she was not selling these books because she had done a signing the night before, but one of the vendors there were selling this book, and I was super sad. I told her, I was like, I'm so sorry, all the books that I have of yours is already signed. And I said I was hoping to buy this one, and one of her assistants that was helping her like literally found out how many copies that vendor had. So I literally ran across the floor, grabbed a book, bought it, and Candy was like, if you go get it, just come up to the assistant and tell her, and I will like go ahead and sign it for you. I'll just let you come right up. And she absolutely did. She personalized it for me. So The Wrong Game by Candy Steiner. I think I'm probably going to hold on to this until football season starts. So I'm like in the season and reading a football romance. That's my plan as of right now, but it is going on the TBR cart as highly anticipated. The next book is Across the Line, and I picked this up on a Barnes & Noble trip. I was just browsing the shelves trying to find my next read, and I saw that this was a Formula One romance, and Lauren Asher's Dirty Air series really got me into Formula One, like to the point where I actually started watching it, and I follow Formula One racing. So when I saw this, I thought yes, absolutely, add to cart, let's go. And so I bought it that day, and I'm very anxious to read this book. I know in the store that I read at the back of it. I cannot tell you what this book is about, and I typically like it like that so that I can just hop into it based on the vibes and like my little bit of memory and just enjoying what comes of it. The next book I also picked up while we were out of town for the book signing, but I got it from a bookstore after reading the synopsis. And basically, our heroine, I think, is supposed to marry someone, but he gets put under a curse where he is a horse during the day, and at night he is in his human form. And that just sounded so interesting to me, and so I said, yes, I want to read. I want to find out what happens, but also the pretty pink sprayed edges, and it just really seems like it's going to be a fantastic read. So I'm very excited. This is the kind of like romantasy that I want to see and want to read right now, something that's very low stakes. So we shall see. I hope I enjoy this, but I am excited to get to it. The next book that I picked up is also one that I got from Meet and Greet Cute, and it came as a recommendation from my friend Lexi, and it's called Sovereign, and it is a dark cowboy romance. I have read cowboy romance, and I typically tend to enjoy them, but I have not read a dark one. And she raves about this series, and I can't wait to find out. I ended up picking up books 1 and 2, and you will see the other book shortly. But yeah, a dark cowboy romance sounds like a good time. This next one, if you watched, again, my mid-year check-in, you will know that this comes as no surprise, but I picked up Called Up. I pre-ordered this, especially after I finally read Lights Out, and I'm very anxious to see how we carry on in this series and the couple that is going to follow. I don't really have high expectations. I don't have any expectations for this book, actually, because I feel like Lights Out gave me what I wanted, and it wasn't really just a story by itself, but it was the writing and the storytelling. So I do feel confident going into this book, but I'm just here for a good time, and I'm hoping that I have just as good a time with this one as I did with Lights Out. But this is definitely a high priority, like, to read this year, I believe. The next 2 books are also books that I picked up from Meet and Greet Cute, and it is Puck Pack and Ice Rivals. These are both by Kristen Granada. This is books 3 and 4 of her Ice Rivals series, and I am told that book 3, Puck Pack, is Kristen's favorite, so I am anxious to pick this up and continue the series. Books 1 and 2 of the series have honestly knocked it out of the park and have been exactly what I wanted. They have felt like 2 different books in the series. Like, when I think of interconnected standalones, you are truly getting a different experience across both books, and it's not even like the experience of, you know, one book is Grumpy Sunshine, one book is Brother's Best Friend, one book is Enemies to Lovers. No, you're getting like different tropes, and we love to see it. So this is definitely going on the book cart. Book 4 may go on the shelves until I finish this, but these both are highly anticipated reads because I am just excited to continue in this series. Another pre-order that I got this year is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I am a V.E. Schwab lover. I try to stay on board with all of the new books that she has coming out. I really need to catch up on the Darker Shades of Magic series, but this is a new standalone, and I want to prioritize this read for this year because I've already heard really good things about it, and I enjoy how V.E. Schwab writes, how she talks about writing, how she thinks about writing, how her stories come together, and just the tidbits that she has shared. I always enjoy reading her work and like trying to analyze the meaning behind things and like the intention that she puts in it. So I'm extremely excited to get to this. And then the last of my highly anticipated reads for the remainder of this year is this fantasy horror fiction anthology called Monsters and Masquerades. This was an Owl Crate release that I ordered last year, and it was delivered this year, but I'm saving this for spooky season, and I'm really excited to read it. I really want to read this book, and I also have on my Kindle Out Here Screaming. I think it's a horror anthology that has all Black authors, and it was put together by Jordan Peele. So I want to read both that one and this one during like September, October timeframe. So the next 4 books I'm going to showcase, I got in a book box, and I will put the book box name under here. I have got things from them before, and I really enjoy the company. The person who runs it is honestly a sweetheart. She does different discounts on her Instagram stories where she'll put together like different book boxes, and she'll have different pieces included in there. But also she has monthly boxes that she does. She's really big on supporting indie authors, and I really appreciate the work that she does when it comes to informing readers about indie authors. So the next 4 books that I'm going to talk about, I believe these are all indie authors. The first book is Let the Light Shine Through by A. Marie. Oh, there we go. Beautiful cover, quite stunning. Again, I have read about these books, but I could not tell you like right now, this very second, what they are about. So yeah, but I am excited to get to them. The next one is Bad Boys Bring Heaven by Leah Pelham. I think that's right. Again, another beautiful cover that I really like. I think it's so pretty. I'm a sucker for a pink or a purple book, honestly. The next book is Don't Tell Me Twice by Danny Ryan. And then the last book is How Does It Feel? And this is the only fantasy book. The other two books are romance. I'm very hopeful about adding indie authors to my list of favorites, and maybe I could do like a separate video of me reading those books. We shall see. I'll keep that top of mind. So the next two books I picked up were Barnes & Noble Rescues. I have said before very recently that I want to read Allie Hazelwood's backlist. I keep buying books from this woman and have yet to pick up an actual book from her, and that needs to change this year. And I have mentioned it before on this channel, but I have decided that I think I'm going to do a dedicated Allie Hazelwood reading vlog when I have the time. So the first book that I picked up is Deep End. I picked this up probably at the beginning of the summer. And then the other book that I picked up very recently is a problematic summer romance. And I honestly think that this cover is just so stunning. Absolutely stunning. I love it so much, and it just makes me happy. So I think this one has to do with an age gap romance maybe. And then this one I think is like a new adult college situation. Not 100% sure. I do know that it is more on the spicier side than what she is used to writing, or than what she typically writes. But I don't know. We shall see. I do know, even though I would say, because these are the most recent works that I'm aware of for Allie Hazelwood, these are probably higher up on the priority list for me, but I do know that I will be reading The Love Hypothesis first before getting to anything else, and after I read that, move along through her backlist. But I am excited to read her work and just to see if it resonates with me like it does with most readers. The next two books are more Barnes & Noble rescues. The first one being Runaway Love by Melanie Harlow. And I know this series makes the rounds on TikTok. I see it a lot over there, and I looked up what is the first of the series because I typically see like some of the other ones, but I do want to give this author a chance and see if I like her work. And then the other one is Heavenly Bodies, and I have had an interest in this since it was indie published, and the fact that it's an indie published author that got picked up and was traditionally published, I definitely want to read and see what this book holds. I've heard fantastic things, and that this author does really good with her writing and storytelling and just how she includes different elements into this story. So I'm extremely excited to get to this book. Honestly, this should probably be on the most anticipated list or in the most anticipated pile, but the thickness of this book scares me just a bit. Okay, we are down to the very last stack, and I'm going to try to go through this fairly quickly. So the next book is picked up from Meet and Greet Cute. This is Weston, which is book 2 in that dark cowboy romance book series. I mean, they were right there. I needed to get at least 1 and 2. I didn't buy the whole series, so that was a win for my pockets. While also at that signing, I picked up a blind date with a book from the book vendor there, and I grabbed a soccer romance, which I have never read before, and it's called Close Knit. Honestly, this cover, the color is giving. I really, really enjoy it. Like I said, a pink or a purple book will do it for me every time. While we were in Knoxville for the signing, my friend and I made sure to stop into some of the local bookstores, and we did local bookstores here too, but from up there, this is what I picked up. I got Metal Slinger, and I feel like I've seen this around, but I'm not 100% sure. I do know when I picked it up and I read the back of it, I immediately wanted to read it, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Like I said, I can't remember if I had heard anything about it, but it definitely caught my attention. Next is Coming In Hot, which is another Formula One book. I'm really just trying to capture the feeling that I had again when reading Formula One for the first time. I feel like it's not a sports romance that you see very often, so when I did, I was kind of like, yes, I want to try it, I want to read it and give it a shot. So I did. I grabbed it. Again, another purple book too. I love that for me. And then I also got What Lies Beyond the Veil, which is book 1 in the A Flesh and Bone book series, and it's by Harper L. Woods. I actually saw this at a local bookstore here in Nashville, and I kind of hesitated on whether or not I should get it. I'm glad I did, because I ended up getting the one that had like a colorful edge to it. So another fantasy book that I am excited to start. I do have a couple of Harper L. Woods books that I have not read yet, but I should. And I don't even think that I made the correlation when I bought up that it was the same author of books that I currently own. But I wonder if this book series is finished, because I see on the back here that books 2 and 3 are out, so I should look that up and figure it out. All right, the next 3 books I have to show you are Book of the Month picks. The first one being This Princess Kills Monsters, and I literally read the synopsis of this and said, yes, please, this is my pick for the month, because it just sounds so good. Like, I love the idea of a princess fighting back and finding love in the process, I guess you could say, and just not being a damsel in distress. So obviously I picked this up, yes. I had an extra credit, so I also picked up How Freaking Romantic. I haven't heard anything about this. Don't really know what to expect. I do remember reading the synopsis before I clicked purchase, but we love a romance. So yeah, How Freaking Romantic. I love the title. Okay, and the last book that I got from Book of the Month is Silver Elite, and it has the sprayed edges. I know there has been controversy surrounding the release of this book, controversy that I was not aware of before I purchased it. I did do a minimum dive into the controversy. I know the biggest issue is the amount of money publishers put behind marketing for someone they want to market is one of the huge issues. So I'm going to take this time to say what I have always felt about traditionally publishing. If you have a desire to write a book and to publish it, I no longer believe that being traditional published is the mark of being a good writer. There are plenty of good writers out there that are not in stores and are just doing the hard work on their own, promoting their books. Is it harder? Yes, but you no longer need the stamp of approval from a traditionally publishing house to mean that your writing means something. I don't really have anything to say about the use of a pen name. I just hope that the person behind this pen name is not somebody completely heinous, but I also agree that if an author decides to use a pen name because they want to write in a different genre, or if they want to protect their safety, that is their prerogative to do. It's no secret that the traditional publishing landscape is a hot mess when it comes to giving equal opportunity to anybody. So this is not a surprise or anything that shocks me when it comes to what traditional publishing houses do. I hope that in the future there's more chance for authors of color, LGBTQ plus authors, and just across the spectrum, where we are seeing more representation in the traditionally published landscape. But until then, we still have the space and opportunity to tell our stories when we want to, in our own time and on our own platforms. And then I'm going to end this book haul with a nonfiction book. It is The Emotional Craft of Fiction, and this was a recommendation from a writing podcast that I listen to, and I'm always down to learn more about writing and the writing craft. So when I saw this, I decided to pick it up and give it a shot, and I honestly cannot wait to read it. That is all for my book haul today. If you made it this far, leave me a purple heart emoji for my love of purple book covers. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you've read any of these books, let me know down in the comments which ones I should prioritize, or which ones you would like for me to read, so you would know if you want to pick them up. If you are not already subscribed, make sure you do so that you don't miss any uploads in the future. And if you enjoy the content that I'm providing here today, make sure you share this video to your friends and bookish family so that we can continue to grow this bookish community. That is all from me today. I will see you all in the next video.